going on, everybody? C4 here. Welcome back to the channel, and today we're continuing in lieu of last night's video, which if you haven't seen it, go check it out, where we put Tom Brady on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And obviously, it's a short-term rebuild. It was a 2-year rebuild. We got to see just what Tom Brady would look like. Obviously, it all relates into Madden. On the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, what we saw was his first-year stats. He played like an MVP candidate, and then before he retired, basically no playoff wins, which is kind of in the pit of my stomach how I think that's going to play out in Tampa. And, you know, not a shot fired at Tampa Bay or anything like that. It's just, man, it's so weird. It's so weird. But here's another move that happens. A short-term rebuild. This might only be 1 year. But this is a team that we know, at least in the Madden sim, you've seen it. If you've ever played, if you've even sniffed of playing Madden, you have seen this man continually be an MVP candidate. So we have Phillip Rivers, the brand new quarterback of the Indianapolis Colts. You could only assume that this move means that they're going to draft a quarterback fairly high in 2020 and have Rivers be the bridge quarterback, because it doesn't seem like they're all in on Jacoby Brissett. So I don't know who they're going to draft. Is Jordan? Are they still going to be in play for a quarterback in the second round? Because they traded a first-round pick for another guy that will be featured in this rebuild. Not good enough to make the thumbnail, but probably a better player than Phillip Rivers in DeForest Buckner from the San Francisco 49ers. This is a huge get for the defense, one of the best young defensive tackles in the National Football League, and should definitely make a big-time impact here when it comes to the sim. But what we know about the Indianapolis Colts in Madden 20 is that their quarterbacks generally do very, very well. So unlike Tom Brady on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, where the Bucs, I mean, let's just think about it from a sim standpoint and take the player overall out of it. You never see Jameis Winston putting up big-time numbers, but you always see Jacoby Brissett putting up big-time numbers. So I'm optimistic that Phillip Rivers, who signed a 1-year, I think it's $25 million deal to come into the Indianapolis Colts, I'm confident that we're going to make the playoffs and go on a playoff run. Because ultimately, with these rebuilds that we're going to be doing here over the next week or so, that involve some of the big-name free agency moves, signings, I don't know how we're going to do it. I don't think we're always just going to do 1 year. Because, for example, DeAndre Hopkins on the Cardinals, we already did a Cardinals realistic rebuild. I don't want to do another, 10 years like that. But for that could be more of a 5-year rebuild. Kind of go for the length of their contracts, for example. It's different strokes for different folks for certain of these rebuilds. And this one here is going to be a short one, but hopefully a successful one, and we can go on a playoff run with Phillip Rivers. I mean, look at the rest of the roster. They got a running back in Marlon Mack and Naheem Hines. They got a wide receiver still in T.Y. Hilton. I still think they should try to address the wide receiver position, but hopefully Paris Campbell, who they invested a pretty good pick in, can take the next step in his career as a sophomore. They got Jack Doyle, Ebron set to hit free agency, but Doyle's still a really solid tight end. They re-signed Costanzo. Their offensive line is outstanding. One of the best offensive lines in the AFC. If not, I'm trying to think, what are the best offensive lines in the AFC? Pittsburgh's pretty good. New England, obviously, New England's always been pretty good, but I think that's more coaching than it is, pure talent. So, if we're ranking the offensive lines in the AFC, are Colts probably the best, if not, top 2, top 3. They got the Darius Leonard, the Maniac. Their secondary is really improved. So, with a guy like Phillip Rivers, is he going to be enough to take the Colts over that hump, to get them into the playoffs, and then win them a Super Bowl? We're going to find out here in this Phillip Rivers, Indianapolis Colts, 1 year. Can they win the Super Bowl rebuild? So with the first year of Phillip Rivers in the bank, 11-5, the Colts win the division. I mean, this is a division now, looking at the scope of the AFC South, that the Colts should be favored to win. The Jags are pretty much rebuilding. They're trading away a lot of their veterans. We saw with A.J. Boye. We saw with Calais Campbell. They don't really have a quarterback, even though we like Minshew. You got all that money to fall. There's a lot of uncertainty when it comes to Jacksonville Jaguars. You look at the Tennessee Titans. It really should be between the Colts and the Titans next year. The Texans getting rid of DeAndre Hopkins, that is just a foolish decision. They're still going to be good. Don't get me wrong. They've got Deshaun Watson, but in that defense, they're not going to be big-time favorites. Let's just put it that way. You lose a guy like DeAndre Hopkins, the best wide receiver in the National Football League. You trade him for pennies on the dollar. You're not going to be big-time favorites. The Titans, again, if you believe in Tannehill or not, they still have a really good roster. They're well-coached. But I think making a move for Phillip Rivers, that win-now move, the Colts probably should be the favorite. I'm going to be looking at betting some futures here. Already got in on the Buffalo Bills to win the AFC East. Might be getting in on the Colts to win the AFC South. And if Madden has any indication of real life, which it rarely does, this is good proof for that. That's good, performance bias. So look at that. Phillip Rivers played really, really well. What are the top interceptions? And the interceptions are down. He's usually, interception all over the place. Last time Phillip Rivers put a season up like this with the Chargers, he was an MVP consideration. 4,100 yards, 31 touchdowns, 10 tutties. Over 1,000 yards there. T.Y. Hilton, 1,000 yards, 11 touchdowns. Zach Pascal, who's a Madden god at the slot position, 77 catches, 1,000 yards, 8 tutties. Nice year for Paris Campbell. Jack Doyle, serviceable. Marlon Mack, do it all in the running back spot. Just quickly, Kyrie Wills, Real big-time year at strong safety. Buckner coming in, 54 tackles, 13 TFLs, 8 sacks. Colts would be ecstatic with those kind of numbers. He can put that up in his first year in the white and blue. As did Phillip Rivers come in the MVP race? Brady's there. I mean, obviously we didn't modify the roster. Rest of the league, he didn't even make it. That's just disrespectful. It's Josh Allen with Stephon Diggs probably went off there just a little bit. But either ways, we made the playoffs, and it's all about seeing if Phillip Rivers is the man to take them to the glory land. Obviously, they've had a lot of quarterback turmoil with Peyton Manning and the neck, and then you had Andrew Luck with the neck beard. And now we're here with Phillip Rivers, a man that has 48 kids and honestly looks like the biggest asshole in the National Football League. So can we win with Phillip Rivers? Look at that face. Look at that smug look as he's now wearing number 9 and he's happy with it. Just a face you want to punch, but a face that hopefully can bring this team to greatness. We're gonna hop in. We're gonna strap in here. We're probably gonna play the moments in this first one because it's the gauntlet. We gotta run the gauntlet. It's the Bengals. That should be an easy dub. And then we're going to see if we can win a Super Bowl here for the Indianapolis Colts with Phillip Rivers under center. All right, first game, not really worried about it. Think the Colts can handle the business. You know, it's one of those things we can also maybe hypothesize, that's a word, right? That we always know that the Chargers are a team you never want to see in the sim, but who's usually the quarterback of the Chargers in the sim? Phillip Rivers. So maybe just Phillip Rivers is a sim the moments, play the moments god. He's playing very well right now, 28-13 lead as we look to enter the fourth quarter with just ending this game. 30. Oh yeah, we're moving on to the AFC Divisional here. The Colts very happy, controlling the clock. We got that great offensive line, solid running back in Marlon Mack. We should be able to kill off games, bleed the clock, and we knock out the Bengals as expected in the opening round, 41-27, 300 yards, 3 touchdowns for Phillip Rivers and Marlon Mack. Insane production. Hopefully it just doesn't end with, you know, Phillip Rivers going up against his arch enemy, his kryptonite, a failed, updated, rest of the league, Tom Brady, New England Patriots squad. But for right now, it's a big win. That's a lot of momentum that we can carry on for the rest of this playoffs. Oh my God, your weird throwing motion! And it still couldn't hit. We had Bears Campbell deep. Oh, there we go. Marlon Mack on the screen pass, something that Phillip Rivers did a lot to Austin Eckler. Thank God Austin Eckler won me a lot of fantasy games because Phillip Rivers loves the screen pass, and we're able to tie up the Cleveland Browns here at 7 apiece in the AFC Divisional round. Big grab, Zach Pascal. Who is this guy? Is he this good in real life? 3rd and 10, Phillip Rivers hits Jack Doyle across the middle, burn a timeout, looking to extend it to a 2-touchdown lead before the end of the first half. 3rd and goal, Philly in the gun. You were looking for T.Y. Hilton top of the screen, or Jack Doyle, who's wide open. The Browns, 3 defenders, not one of them thought to cover a really good tight end. Okay, even from a sim standpoint, we are piling. It might be Phillip Rivers, honestly. The guy who programs the Super Sim just might be the biggest Phillip Rivers homer of all time, as this is just absolute disgust against a team like the Cleveland Browns. Let's be honest. They're employed when the sim comes. They do a lot of working of other teams when you play them in a Super Sim. And just Freddie Kitchens can't believe it. You know, we got a little bit of dip in that bottom lip. And he is disgusted, as everyone else is looking at him, that his team, the Browns, were this unprepared. They come to the Terror Dome, known as the Phillip Rivers-led Indianapolis Colts. We went in their house. He threw 4 touchdowns. And this Colts team, back-to-back 40 bombs, is moving on to the AFC Championship Game. Of course, make a little video, don't have a full updated roster, and we play Tom Brady. Tom Brady of the Patriots. Whatever, let's do it. How fitting in this regards that in this whatever we're doing, this little Madden video on YouTube, that it's the arch enemies going up. The Colts and the Patriots, Rivers and Brady. We're playing really bad, so we're going to come in and help rectify this. It makes sense, though. All the storylines getting tied in. What is this, a C4 franchise mode? No, you ain't got it. There we go. Give me a little cheese. Just give me just a little cheese. Paris Campbell, the burner out of Ohio State. Finally. Phillip Rivers was 2 of 8 for like 17 yards in the first half. Finally, I can hop in and help him get some pay dirt. You're getting worked right now. Oh, they also get a touchdown? So we're going to have to also go for it here. Oh, and the half's over, and our player's frozen solid on the sidelines. This is absolute garbage. Oh, we turned the ball over on third down as well. Well, the good news is, as we just come to a crippling face-fucking of a defeat here, is that Tom Brady's no longer in the AFC. So for Colt fans that are sick and tired of the Patriots and Tom Brady, it's probably over. Good news for Phillip Rivers fans is that Tom Brady is no longer in the AFC. Don't have to deal with that anymore. So you combine both of that. It's the best of both worlds, and Madden's stupid. That's all we can say. And I guess I'm a bit of an asshole for not, spending 87 hours completing this roster and updating it. But, hey, if you told me right now that in 1 year that Rivers is coming in kind of as an upgrade, but kind of as a bridge quarterback, the Indianapolis Colts would be a game away from going to the Super Bowl, I think most Colt fans get, you know what? That's pretty awesome. That's a pretty good year. And, hey, while we're trying to throw a little bit of shade at Tom Brady, when we did his rebuild to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, didn't make the playoffs. Didn't even sniff the playoffs once. So, Phillip Rivers, hopefully, it's going to be interesting to see what he can do with the Indianapolis Colts. Hopefully, coronavirus does not kill everyone and cancel the NFL season. We can actually see some of these things come to fruition. But as we wrap up this video, I need to ask you guys, what of the free agent moves you want to see next? I know probably a bunch of people want to see DeAndre Hopkins and the Arizona Cardinals. I'm thinking that'll probably just be like a regular 5-year rebuild, not a realistic rebuild. But I think 5 years worth. Like, how much, when I do these videos, how much of the prime? How long realistically are these players going to be the big hyped up players? You can argue for the Cardinals. Hopkins, 5 years, man, until he retires, he's going to be a damn high baller. And there's obviously some other moves around the league. Teddy Bridgewater on the Panthers, wherever Cam Newton lands up, will be a pretty fun video to hop into. But let me know what you guys want to see next in the comment section below. But that does it for me today, guys. Thank you for watching. As always, your first time stopping by, don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button, smash the like button if you enjoyed. And until next time, C4 saying peace out.